פה סוף הדרך, פה זה מה שנקרא סביוני חברון. הארמון של דוד המלך, אוויר, עצי זית, עצי פרי, הנוף של כל חברון. הכי טוב.
והערבים כל עושים בעיה?
אם עושים, אז אנחנו, להפך, זה האתגר, אנחנו לא הגענו לגן עדן. יש עבודה, צריך לעבוד. ויש שתי חלונות פונים לצד ההוא של העיר, רואים את כל העיר חברון, אז שכנה שלי קוראת לזה חלונות מוטיבציה. אבל מסתכלים, פותחים בבוקר את החלון, רואים מה עוד יש לעשות. למה כל עוד אנחנו רק פה ולא שם, אז...
And what she's saying is what needs to be done. What she really means is how are we going to go about getting these indigenous people whose land we're stealing to get out of here so that we can gobble up all the land and all the resources. That's what she's actually trying to say.
זהו. הבית הזה, בית של ערבים בינתיים. ויש פה עוד בית שהיה של ערבים והיום הוא יהודי. אז עם הזמן התייהד.
ليش اسكر الباب؟ تدخليش انت. ما تدخلي.
تسقري الدلة. تسقري الدلة.
ما بدي اسكر الباب.
شابت صوتك.
يلا وفي يا بيتا.
ليش قاعده بيتي الباب؟ ما بدي ادخل البيت. ليش قاعده
As you can see, this settler is just straight up attacking the Palestinians. So as you can see, these settlers just torment the Palestinians there. She told her straight up, get in the cage, because they attack the Palestinians so much that they had to put a cage up around their house to stop the settlers from throwing rocks and breaking their windows.
That one, still, the soldiers...
احنا هون في الارميديا في هون هذول للمستوطنين هذه كلها البيئة كلها للمستوطنين هون فيش احنا تقريبا هذا الشارع احنا بنعدي منه بس عشان المستوطنين بيلطخوا من هون والجيش من هون يعني ما فيش احنا على 4 جهات محاصرين تقريبا لانه فيش اي محل نطلع فيه يا المستوطنين بيلطخوا يا الجيش.
يعني بالعيد يعني قرايبنا بدخلوش يعني قبل 7 سنين تقريبا اجوا قرايبنا علينا كان في مستوطنين قعدوا يلطخوا عليهم حجار ويعني رفعوا عليهم الأسلحة كانوا بدهم يضربوهم بالأسلحة حتى يعني احنا هنا عايشين
You see how the little kids are trying to taunt the Palestinians? No little kid is born like that. Those children were taught that kind of behavior, and they're taught that by their extremist parents. They have no respect for the people whose land they're coming to steal. Obviously, if they're coming to steal the land, they don't have respect for them, but it's so crazy to see little kids that are filled with such venom and hatred.
زي كنا بسجن يعني.
هذا ما كانش فيه شبكة كان كله زي هيك بس ضرب زين وهيك لما اجوا المستوطنين صاروا يدخلوا حجار على البيت حطت لنا اياه السلطه يعني انت اي فر كل الدار عندنا كلها عليها شبك انه المستوطنين اي محل بيشوفوا فيش عليه شبك بيطخوا لنا عليه هاي صار عشان محطوط الشبك يجيبوا مقص يوصلنا الشبك يعني هم بضربونا بضربوا احنا الولد الصغير احنا ممنوع نلطخ حجر ممنوع يعني عندهم ينحبسوا اما احنا مش نحبس احنا مش عاملين اشي بس بدنا نحبس فقط
كلهم هذول شكاوي للشرطة عن المستوطنين كل ولد له شكوى وكل هذول ساعة ولا شيء هذول في معابي كمية كبيرة اللي مقدمهم أبي هذه كلها شكاوي للشرطة عن المستوطنين لو بدي أنا أشكي كل حاجة بتصير عندي بتم قاعد في الشرطة ما بشتغل
So you notice how that kid just said the Arabs have been causing trouble for 22 years, and that kid's like 6 years old, so you know off the bat that he just heard his parents regurgitate that shit for years over and over. And how it's like your parents came to these people's land illegally and are violating international law by being settlers in Palestine, stealing their land under the cover of the Israeli Defense Forces, and somehow the Arabs are the ones that are causing trouble. You see that? And this is the kind of spin that they put out to the rest of the world in the mainstream media, trying to paint the Palestinians as the troublemakers when they're the ones living on their indigenous land that their forefathers lived on, and the settlers are the ones that are coming and stealing their land and causing the mayhem.
خيال الولد بده يطلع، الولد هيو تحت مش عارف يطلع منهم. وينه طيح؟ الولد شريف.
الو كسب
شفتها شو بيعمل؟ هيك عم تضرب فيه بس غصبي انا مش شايف شو بيعمل. الولد تحت.
So this lady's younger brother, I believe, or her son, is outside of the gates of their house. I don't know if he was like going to do errands for his mom or his sister or whatever, or if he was just out playing. But the Jewish children there like beat the fuck out of the Palestinian kids, and so she's leaving her own house on her own street to go and get her sibling or her son, whoever it is, and an Israeli military patrol that is stationed on their street runs up to her and tells her to get back in her house. This is the kind of life that the Palestinians live under. It's absolute occupation. It's a military occupation. It's not lightly. This isn't like just a phrase that's thrown out. This is actually their life. They're told they are under complete martial law.
الولد تحت اللي بيضربوا فيه، ده جيب الولد على البيت، شو مالك انت؟ الولد تحت. طب ده جيب اخي تحت قاعد. ده جيب الولد تحت. طب بدي اروح اجيب الولد انا. طب جيب اخي من تحت، بروح على البيت.
وانت ما تسمع نو الو
ده جيب الولد من
انت
تحت.
ما تسمع
طب اسكر الكاميرا، جيب الولد من تحت.
They're telling them to turn off the camera because they don't want these crimes against humanity to be documented.
الولد تحت، هيو تحت مش عارف يجي. طب اخي تحت، جيب الولد من تحت. الولد تحت وين بده يقعد؟ وين؟
ابو عائشه
وشريف هيو تحت. الولد ده جيب الولد. شو اسكت الولد تحت؟ شو كيف اسكت واخي؟
He asks her what her last name is, and when he finds out which family she's a part of, he tells her to shut up and get back in the house.
تحت يجي على البيت. شو خليه تحت ينام بالشارع عشانهم يسكتوا؟ مش شايفه هو يلتقي حجاري من برخ مرزه بس عم يصح فيي انا.
ايوه
طب يلا روح جيب الولد هيو تحت. شو اسكت انت؟ طب يلا روح جيبه.
اني متبل بده
طب يلا روح جيب الولد.
اني متبل بده
يا بنتي لما تسال اي ولد عن شغله بضل يقول لك المستوطن.
So, yeah, that's just a small little glimpse of what they got to deal with. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's all covered up on mainstream media. And again, this is in the West Bank. So for those of you who don't know, Palestine has been divided into two pieces, and those two pieces are not connected, and they are now, in recent times, not even ruled by the same government. You have the Gaza Strip down by the Egyptian border at the very southernmost tip of Palestine, or what is now Israel. And that is recently, I believe in the last decade, maybe a little bit over that, it's under the rule of Hamas. And you have the West Bank, which is up north and to the east on the border with Jordan. And that is administered by Fatah, or the Palestinian Authority. And so what Israel has effectively done is fractured the remaining small little crumbs of Palestinian land. And now, and Israel also supported Hamas's rise to power because they knew that would take away power from the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, which I believe Fatah is the successor of. They are the PLO, I believe. And so Israel funds Hamas and then uses Hamas as the main scapegoat and boogeyman whenever they try to come to the West and say that they're so threatened, and their catchphrase is to just scream out Hamas this and Hamas that. And so what they're doing, it's basically divide and conquer. And there's not a lot of land left. And, just like we've been covering here, on July 1st, that's when the Trump administration gave them the okay to annex the entire West Bank. Moving on to the next video. I don't have any specific order I'm doing this in. It's just kind of as it comes. So, got this video right here of Palestinians smuggling bread through a drainage ditch in a wall because Israel won't let them bring bread through. That's how crazy it's getting. Let's see if we can get one that isn't through Facebook. See that? This video used to be readily available and now it's not. It's all through Facebook. It's almost like YouTube deleted the entire thing off of their site. Yeah, so check this out right here.
اسحب طل فهد طل على الكاميرا طل على الكاميرا شو تسوي فهد؟
بحرك بالقاعد.
ليش من هون طيب؟
لأنه الجيش مش راضي يمرقنا.
ليه مش راضيين يمروكم؟
ايه الممنوع.
يلا روح ألف كعكة مرة كم كعكة؟ 1000.
So that's what the situation is in the West Bank. Israel has complete control over what supplies come in and go out. They have complete control over all resources, electricity and water. They have complete control over who gets out to go get medical attention or come in. They have complete control over whether you can go to work that day or not. Every aspect of the Palestinians' lives is controlled. So we got a few more videos. We got a gang of videos up in here now. And we will get to all of them. So we got these B'Tselem videos about the checkpoints. Most people don't understand the reality of the checkpoints that the Palestinians have to deal with. There are checkpoints all over the West Bank, and the Palestinians have to go through these checkpoints and be allowed through by the Israeli military to be able to get to work if they have jobs in Israel or just in other parts of their own territory. There are checkpoints in their own land, and they have to wait for hours in the